So thank you so much, Sabi, for joining me this morning and having a chat with me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to wake up this morning and was like, okay, let's do this. I'm very excited about this opportunity to have a conversation with you about the upcoming conference.
Awesome. And you are tuning in from Portland, right?
Absolutely. Portland, Oregon. Actually, I live in a suburb of Portland. It's called Happy Valley. So that's why people say, Sabi, you're always so happy. I was like, man, I live in a happy valley. I have to be happy.
That is amazing. I would love to live in a place that's called Happy Valley. Amazing. So I think that's one of the things I really love about the conference this year is that we have speakers from kind of all over the world tuning in, and even our attendees can be from all over the world. So that's, I think, even though we have a pandemic and we can't have an in-person conference, so that's sort of not that great, but
Yeah.
this makes it as great.
Absolutely. No, I can, relate to that so much because initially you had to like fly to a place or drive to a place to do all these presentations. And right now, I think the whole world is open right now for you. So I'm getting actually, interestingly for me, I'm actually speaking all over the world as well right now. So, whether it's London, Ireland, Karachi, Lahore, Mumbai, it's like, man, the world is your marketplace right now.
I love it. I love it. So I was looking at the session that you have for us at our PMI-SAC PDC conference coming up, and it is about the project manager and the business analyst and the relationship and dynamics between the two.
You're right.
That's very interesting and new to me because I've actually not worked with a business analyst ever. I never was a business analyst. I'm a project engineer to project coordinator to project manager. That's how my progression went. So tell me a bit about that.
Right, absolutely. So, when I used to be a project manager, I will say about 12, 13 years ago when I started my journey, there wasn't much about business analyst. So by default, a project manager was wearing this hat of a business analyst and was doing all this business requirements, making sure the requirements, scope is totally defined. And then in the last 12 years, I think the BA has become such a strong field in itself. And the reason for that is the number one reason any project fail because the requirements are not very well defined or scope is not very clear. So you build something you think you were building, and then you build something else. And the customer comes back and say, that's not what I was thinking about. So that's why, the business analyst, has become such a critical role in successful delivery of any project. But then what it does is it creates this friction between project manager and a BA. It's like, okay, what is my role as a PM? What is my role as a BA? So unless those roles are not clearly defined, it's going to create this, stress or I will say a tension between those two individuals. So this presentation, which I'm talking about, is okay. Are they friends? Are they foes? And how can you build a better relationship between those two? Clearly defining roles and responsibilities, and making sure that everybody's focused on what is important for them, right? A BA is more focused on business need requirements, and project manager is more focused on the project and project planning and project monitoring and so on, right? So different skill sets, but the skills which they need are very similar, right? They have to have conversation with the stakeholders. They need to collaborate with them. Both of them need to manage that risk, in a project. Both have to manage the scope, more so on the BA side, but also on the project manager side. Both have to manage that conflict because they are working with the end user, the customer. So it's a very interesting topic. I think folks are going to learn a lot, and maybe I will learn something from them as well.
That sounds great. Like, I think I will learn a lot if I go to your session because, like I said, I haven't ever worked with a business analyst. So I feel like it depends from organization to organization. Perhaps I don't know what your experience has been.
Yeah. So I worked in the public sector. I was managing a PMO, project management office for City of Portland and technology services. So I had a team of, a combined team where we had project managers, about 8 to 9 different project managers. And then we had about 2 business analysts. So that was interesting, dynamics between both of them. But most of the time, I think that these BAs, again, can live within a business side. because they understand the business and they can work with the customer and can translate that language between technology and the business. So they play such a critical role. And with the whole onset of agile and everything, that has really muddied the water a little bit, where you have now scrum masters who's like, I'm not a project manager, I'm a scrum master. And now you have a business analyst, and you have a product owner, and all those things. So that is interesting.
Yes, you're right. Now there's a project manager, there's a product owner, there's just the software manager, or whatever the team manager is. Then there's a scrum master, and it's just kind of overlap, but not really. And yeah. Who manages all of that? Right? Is my question.
Yeah, that's where the PMO manager comes in, because he or she is overall responsible for that particular division or group or anything, and making sure those projects are being delivered successfully. And for that, BA and PM, they need to work together very closely. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
For sure, collaboration is definitely the name of the game.
Yes.
So Saby, this sounds like a really, really interesting topic, and I think you will see me at your session as well on December 1st. Up until then, when people have, see this video and they want to know a bit more about you before the conference, where can they find you online?
Absolutely. So, I'm on LinkedIn, Saby Vadaj, and people usually say, is it Saby? Is it Saby? Can I make it more spicier? Can I make it wasabi? I was like, go for it. So, so I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter. I actually, when I used to do presentations, I used to start my presentation by taking a selfie. So, I took like so many selfies in last, I will say 3-4 years. 3 years ago, somebody from one of the volunteer from Idaho, he actually gave me a hashtag selfie Saby on Twitter, and that became a thing apparently. And people won't remember me, but they will remember me taking those selfies, right, with everybody, and start taking selfies with hundreds of people, right, everywhere. So I actually bought a domain called selfiesaby.com. It's so funny. So
great. That is great.
Yeah, so you can find me on LinkedIn or social media, anywhere. Happy to connect with you, and happy to chat with you. Happy to help out if you have any questions. Always there. I've been involved with PMI Portland chapter. We are all part of Region 1 family here.
Yeah.
Right. So part of PMI Portland chapter for last 12 years. So folks in Southern Alberta chapter are very close to my heart. We have built great relationships in the last so many years. So really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. And I will see you on December 1st.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.